What's up, guys? Brian Phobos here. Today I have a very interesting video for you. I have a conspiracy theory. I have a bunch of stuff about earning more coins on these different blogging platforms and some updates on that. I think you guys are going to want to stick around for this. It's very interesting, very ironic, some of this stuff. So let's get into this. If you are not aware, Whaleshares.io is basically a Steem clone, but the economic incentives are a little bit different than Steem now at this point. All the clones that have happened are now kind of under different economic rules, essentially, because everybody's trying to fight for survival and try to figure out what works. So with Whaleshares, they turned it to 70% of the reward pool is actually going towards people with whale stake. So if you're in here, and let me just go to the home page or like my feed, the home page. So they basically have taken elements of busy.org and put all this stuff in here. But if you go over here to status now, and you see this, it says cycle ends, in 21 hours. So every 24 hours, you have a chance to actually claim, a certain amount based on your whale stake. So boom, I clicked on that, and then I can say, and let's look at it, 321. 8,321 claim, 8,331. So I just earned like 10 whale stake, and I can do that each 24 hours. But you have to go in here. There might be a script at some point somebody's going to write to automatically gather that. But the majority of the reward pool is actually going towards people just doing that, which we'll see how that works out. Now, how much liquidity is in the system here? You say, well, what is this worth? The price tanked along with all these other blogging platforms. And in the last 24 hours, if you look at RootX, WLS, 24 hours saying 0. So there are some orders on the order books, and you could try to maybe get out, or you could just keep doing that until the market comes back, if that's something you want to do. But at least that informs you, so do with that what you think you should do, or do nothing. Scorum. So this one's interesting. Scorum.com. I always thought this was a very interesting platform. Basically another Steem clone that's based around sports. They do have a little bit of liquidity in the system and got on a couple exchanges, and they do have potential ad revenue coming in, but it has been small. Over time, they're gaining more SEO. But out of all the Steem clones, I actually think that the design of this one is the best. They still have like kind of a core following, and then they have this other commission-free betting platform where you can bet your Scorum. And right now they have soccer, and they're wanting to expand, to more. But basically, you can bet on these soccer matches, which is interesting. So you got people blogging, and then you can use that towards this. Now, here's the interesting thing. There's zero inflation in Scorum. Steem has 8.59% inflation right now, but when the Genesis block was created, these amounts of Scorum were, designated to different areas, and so they set the reward pool and the witness pool to go for 2 years. Witnesses are making 900 Scorum. And Scorum prices are pretty much in a long tail right now. It's kind of flatlined and everything, and volumes are light. 24-hour volume, $28,000, and the majority of that's coming through Hotbit. I would stay away from this other exchange. This is like a Turkish exchange, and a lot of people have said that is not a good exchange. So Hotbit, people have had decent experience with that, but again, liquidity is very low. Always the worry is losing liquidity. And the rank is so low at this point, 1,263 on CoinMarketCap. So, but this is the existing supply, and there's no inflation on the chain. So then it's just like, okay, well, if you calculate it out, you could become a whale relatively cheaply. About the biggest accounts I've seen out there have about 500,000 Scorum. Again, it's risky because if you committed a lot to it, this always sort of entices me, and I always keep looking back at this because there are certain things that are positive about this, and then there's certain things that you're like, if they lose liquidity, if there ends up being no trading volume, pretty much the projects kind of die. So do with that what you may. Now, Steam proposal system. Steemit.com did roll out the proposal system that was designed by Block Trades. It's been active on the chain for a while, and SteamPeak had their version, but now, Steemit.com rolled out theirs. I don't think that you can see this as well as you can with this. This actually designates the different proposals better, personally, I think, just design-wise. Now, right now, there's only the one proposal up there that's actually getting funded at this current time, it looks like. And my proposal down here for multiplayer 2D arcade game is, probably not going to get funded, to tell you the truth. People with power have had enough time to look at it, and ironically enough, if you click on this, the largest account with the most Steam power who voted on me was Trayvon James. And if you've watched my channel for a while, I have, done basically these BitConnect updates or these different things, or kind of reported on this and haven't talked favorably about Trayvon. And then he's voting on my proposal, and he's the top one. Now, Yava P. Matt had voted on me, but it's almost like he took his vote away. I don't know if somebody said, why'd you vote for him? I have no clue why that vote suddenly disappeared. But he was really the only kind of really respected member of the Steam community who had voted on me for that proposal. So, I don't know, guys. It's not looking good. You can check that out if you go to steampeak.com/proposals, or you go into your Steemit wallet, steamwallet.com/proposals, if you want to vote for me for that. Now, here is where we get into the conspiracy theory, guys. So I created a post, and I'm even going to update this just so you guys know that I'm not playing around with these. Okay, I put this up 4 hours ago, and Steemit made a blog post 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, and there's about an hour and a half between the two posts. So anyway, I put this up, 59 auto vote rules and Steam's 99.98% attrition rate. Be like, oh my gosh, Brian, you're being negative again. Hey, sometimes the truth hurts. So anyway, I go into this and I talk about a lot of things, and one of the main things that I talk about is the inflation rate, and I talk about how much Steam power you would have to get. You can get on steamworld.org, and you can basically put in different Steam power, and you can see what your vote's going to be worth. So 1 million Steam power would be worth $7.25. And then what I'm trying to say is that, you're unlikely to make $100 a day, even if Steam could stay at a stable price and not erode. With 8.59% yearly inflation and Steemit Incorporated pounding the sell orders on a regular basis, it doesn't seem to be a great proposition. It would cost $170,000 or so to get that much power, and it isn't very liquid, and Steemit Incorporated is repeatedly beating their own dead horse. So again, they're programmatically selling Steam each month, and they own about 30% of the Steam. So anyway, I was calling this out again, which I have before, and then, oddly enough, I checked, I suddenly saw that a person responded here, Steve Livingston. Interesting update from Steemit. Suspension of selling just after your post. As you guys can see, that this, obviously, he's saying that, and then it's 4 hours ago, 3 hours ago. There's about an hour and a half between them. And then it's just like, boom, after they've been programmatically selling for all this time, the update on programmatic selling. And if you look at, they titled this different, Steam DAO UI and pausing Steam sales. That used to be, and then they changed the title of it slightly. But anyway, they have this update on programmatic selling. We will not be selling any Steam this month. I think it's kind of funny. And then it's like, well, Brian, come on. Like, nobody wanted them to sell Steam. And they've had ads on Steemit.com for a while, kind of thing. It's not like they're copying off of you. But this is about the 6th time. And I know this conspiracy theory sounds funny. And I'm going to show you more evidence of this because it just gets weirder. But myself and Paw Pepper had conversations actually in person like a year ago. And I was, repeatedly saying about the advertising. And he saw me posting this over and over with the advertising. I was like, look, guys, this is a no-brainer. All you have to do is put Google AdSense on here. You've created this huge sales funnel. All you have to do is put Google AdSense up here. And that's the quickest, easiest way to start generating some ad revenue. And then oddly enough, after not having ads for 2 years, a week after I was saying that on their blog post and saying all this stuff, then they suddenly put advertisements up, and guess what it was? It was Google AdSense that they just put that up. And then you're saying, I know what some people are going to say, Brian, people were saying that, ads, it's not this innovative of an idea. But the thing goes further. So there's been about 6 situations like this, and I'm going to show you the weirdest one that is a little bit more poignant, that it's almost like somebody is reading my blog and then literally making these changes or bringing it up to someone and saying, and maybe presenting it as their own idea, hey, we should do this, kind of thing. I don't know, but here is the most poignant evidence of this, guys. And this is the conspiracy theory part. So what is this? Hard Fork 20, and this is 11 months ago, Hard Fork 20 update, restoring continuity. So this was like they suddenly had problems. They just did not test this situation that much, and there was issues with it. So let's go down here to my nice little comments here. I want to congratulate Ned. People wouldn't comment or even waste their time if they didn't care, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I'm not talking positively about Steam here, but here's a quote that I commonly use. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And guess who responded back? Ned. And if you guys don't know, Ned is the CEO of Steemit. He's one of the co-founders of Steemit Incorporated. So Ned responded, and this went back and forth, these super long responses. Now I have a picture here of me at the EOS hackathon. Ned's again responding. I'm responding with these large things, going in, again responding, and then Andrarchy stepped in. He also works for Steemit. You see their Steemit team. And he's kind of trying to, I guess, break up the fight, so to speak. And so, again, let's go back up to the quote once again. And again, obviously Ned and Andrarchy, they're reading this. They're looking at what I have to say. They're getting, obviously they're, cognizant of what is being said and stuff like that. And again, dang it, get down here. But again, the quote that I commonly use, and it's, it's a great quote. It's not like I made it up or anything. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Now, one of the reasons that I use that quote all the time is because one of my favorite baseball movies is A League of Their Own. And furthermore, and I'll show you how this goes deeper, but let's look at the quote. It's Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own. If you don't know what A League of Their Own is, it was a movie made in 1992 that basically the premise of it was that when men went off to World War II, that women played in a league to basically entertain people and keep America's pastime alive.
It's chicken shit, Dottie. You want to go back home to Oregon and make 100 babies? Great. I'm in no position to tell anyone how to live. But sneaking out like this, quitting, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Baseball is what gets inside you. It's what lights you up. You can't deny that.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
Just as kind of like a little more background and stuff, the stadium that A League of Their Own was filmed in is a stadium actually down in Evansville, Indiana. I'm from Indiana. This is the third oldest stadium in the United States, behind like Wrigley Field and Fenway that the Boston Red Sox play in. But it's 100 years old, and it's actually like a super cool stadium down in Evansville, Indiana. So there was like kind of this history and all that kind of stuff. And guess what? I play baseball and I post some stuff. You know, this is me hitting batting practice and stuff. This is a thing on Instagram. But anyway, I use that quote a lot just because, you know, it's a cool quote. It's, I don't know. And then, guess what? Literally, and what is this post? You know, what is this post here? Hard Fork 20 update, Operation Stable. So this is after they got stuff figured out on Hard Fork 20. And this, again, happened a year ago. You know, we just had the Hard Fork 22 and 23. There was a little bit of mishaps this time, but this was a previous situation. The previous Hard Fork, there was obviously the problems. I was arguing back and forth with them of a bunch of these issues. Obviously, Ned and Anjarchy were responding to it. And then after things stabilized, like, you know, 5 days later, a week later, and then guess what? After I had made, again, this quote, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Then in their blog post, Steam It Blog, Steam It Team, it's supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Tom Hanks from A League of Their Own. You know, so it's like, and this, again, guys, this is like the 6th time that I've literally written something in my blog post or adamantly, like, you know, kind of like kept repeating this in videos or saying this kind of stuff, like this is what needs to be done or this or that, or this is a problem. I'm pointing out this is a problem, this is a problem. And then suddenly it shows up in their blog right away. And I think that this is the most kind of poignant thing, that it's just like, now, do other people use that quote? Yeah, sure. But to me, it's a little bit obscure because, you know, if that's one of the most famous instances, and this happens to be my favorite baseball movie, and it was made in 1992, and I say that all the time, and I said it to them, you know, and then they use that in a quote like a week later. It's kind of like, okay, like, are you guys... Like, I'm like this unofficial employee of Steam It Incorporated that everybody's like, you know, this guy has good ideas, but we don't want to acknowledge him because he's just a basement dweller. I have no clue. But it has gotten beyond weird, and other people have noticed it too. It's not just me, and you guys see the evidence. Blockchain don't lie, guys. You can check the timestamps on this stuff. But anyway, and maybe you guys are like, look, Steam's got too many issues. You know, this stuff, we don't know if Whaleshares, we don't know if Scorum, we don't know if any of this stuff will recover. How much can you make? Blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's not worth your time. And maybe you earn a little bit and convert it to something else. But maybe the moral of the story is to, when in doubt, invoke the Doge. And I won't steal this guy's quote like Steam It Incorporated, like steal his thunder. But anyway, this is Hap Long on the last video that I put up. He said, fascinating stuff. Thanks, Brian. If all else fails, invoke the Doge. And so I really like that quote. Invoke the Doge. So anyway, guys, if you can earn something and, you know, get to a coin you guys like, then you have fun with, then there you go. But I know a lot of people are frustrated, and so let me know in the comments below, am I just this weird conspiracy theorist? Like, look, Brian, Steam It Incorporated, they're way too smart. They're not following your blog. They don't care about you. You're just a little basement dweller. Or is there something to this? This is, I'm not kidding. This has happened like 6 times, and then like within Sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a few hours, sometimes it's a week or two, and then they're doing the exact thing that I basically just said. So I don't know, guys. You guys tell me. Anyway, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps out a lot. And follow me on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Steam it. See you guys later.